Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to That to Shoot. My weekly episode I show what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. This week, it's NXT Battleground predictions episode. NXT Battleground is this Sunday. Should be a lot of fun, and we're gonna go ahead and get the predicting on the way. Don't forget, after NXT Battleground, I'll have my rapid reaction. So make sure you are hit the notification bell, you subscribe, because you're gonna want to know when I go live, so we can talk about NXT Battleground. We're on to the predicted. Just made this past Tuesday, Josh Briggs and Hank and Tank take on the Culling. There should be Sean Spears, Brooks Jensen, and the other guy. I don't know if his name is, but he's another guy. So, um, yeah. I think this is a win for the Culling. I think this gets them over, and then this also helps them get a title shot at Hank and Tank somewhere down the line. So I think the Culling wins this one without question. In an extremely personal matchup, the Tony D'Angelo, the Don of NXT, takes on Stacks Lorenzo. Except Stacks turned on the Don at NXT Stand and Deliver. He has now made his bed and is facing the Don. He has done something to Rizzo. He has done something to Luca Cristofino. So now the Don takes him on one-on-one. I think this is a good way to try to make another star out of Channing Stacks Lorenzo. But I'd like to see where this goes, because what this could be is that I think this could be also, them having a way to get rid of Tony D'Angelo. Basically, kind of, Rizzo and Luca goes with Stacks, and he now becomes the Don. Or maybe they're gonna wait for that and have that match a little bit later on. The battle to be the Don of NXT. I think that could be very interesting. But the Don has pretty much won all of these type of matches. He beat the Legado de Fantasma. He beat some other people as well. So I think they could do this. I think Tony could win here. But I kind of think you want to do this. You want to keep the role going on the new heel. So I think Channing Stacks Lorenzo beats the Don of NXT in this match. For the Women's North American Championship, so Ruka takes on Kalani Jordan. Now, about a year ago, or a little bit less than a year ago, this match was on pay-per-view and it banged real hard. They're using both the athleticism of Ruka and the gymnastics background of Kalani Jordan to have a banger, and this one was babyface versus babyface. Now we have Ruka, still a babyface, going up against. I'm not sure if she's a full heel yet, but she definitely has a new attitude in Kalani Jordan. I now think Ruka gets to win here. She just won the North American Championship, so I think that she could have a long run as champion with the North American title. Just maybe until they do the obvious turn that they've been, looking to do with Zarya and Ruka. So I think Ruka wins here. She retains the Women's North American Championship. It has been a long time since another promotion's championship has been defended on WWE Premium Live event. I'm trying to think. You may have to go back to like the Smoky Mountain Tag Team Championships, I think, for that to be on the championship. So you have to go back to that. The Heavenly Bodies against the Steiner Brothers, or whoever they were facing at that time. So it's it's amazing. Um, we have the TNA heavyweight champion Joe Hendry taking on Trick Williams. This is something that I think to be interesting. You know, a lot of people are saying that they could see Trick Williams being the TNA champion, and it would make it would make for a good pop. You know, a good pop, a good thing like this. But the one thing the one thing I want from this partnership with TNA is that I want them to feel like it's just not one side. And some people may feel like yes, that was one side. Now, if Jordan Grace had beaten um, Roxanne Perez last year like she should have for the NXT Women's Championship, then I would be okay here with Trick Williams winning it. I'm not okay with Trick Williams winning the TNA World Championship. I'm just not. I think Joe Hendry is, he's earned that World Championship, and I kind of think if he should lose it, he should lose it to another TNA wrestler. Now maybe Trick Williams could cost him the title, which would be totally fine, But I would like to see them, if they're going to do the TNA WWE stuff. See, one thing I didn't like is after the WrestleMania thing, Triple H saying that's not going to be the Joe Hendry's gonna have a lot of WrestleMania moments. Well, I don't say that out loud. Just god damn. That's the thing, because this I'm not gonna be naive and say that there isn't a thing here for WWE to be doing this. There isn't like an underlying reason. I think there's two reasons. One, yes, it's to get some of the talent that they want on their show. Like Jordan Grace, who is now on TNA. They like Joe Hendry, like a Moose. Maybe bring back the Hardys. All of those things are totally, reasonable to think that, that's one reason why they're doing this. And then I think another reason why they're doing this, and I've said this before, is that they're trying to get TNA to go past AEW and have TNA be the number 2 wrestling organization in the country. Have them be ahead of AEW, because they won't do anything to, quell AEW's, ranking. So I understand that. Again, I'm not naive to the situation of what is probably happening here. But that said, I don't want Trick Williams to win the TNA World Championship. So, this is maybe more of a heart pick than a head pick, because I think it's a true 50-50 split. I really do. But I'm going to go with Joe Hendry. I think Joe has to retain the championship. Again, like I said, I think he should only lose it to a TNA wrestler. So, yeah. Joe Hendry retains the TNA World Championship. This may be the toughest one. The NXT Women's Championship. On the line, champion Stephanie Vaquer takes on Jordan Grace. With Roxanne Perez and Julia both moving up to the main roster. Stephanie's just behind us. So is Jordan Grace. All 4 of these women could be on the main roster. And that's the thing, right? Like, are you putting Jordan Grace, on the main roster? Are you putting Stephanie on the main roster? Because I think if Jordan Grace wins, Stephanie's going to the main roster. Hell, she had 2 main roster matches. She had 2 main roster matches after WrestleMania. Jordan Grace hasn't been on the main roster. She's been in NXT. So and then there's also this thing with like the Worlds Collide with AAA. So, are you gonna wait until that to bring up Stephanie? There's a lot of things here that could go down. I'm kind of on the side of, yes, them bringing up Roxanne and them bringing up Julia. I think they're gonna bring up Stephanie very soon. I think Jordan Grace is a later in the year call up as well, or you should be. So I would say that I think that what they are going to do is that Stephanie is going to win. She is going to go to AAA and do the AAA show as the champion. She'll drop it pretty soon after that, and then she'll make her debut possibly on SmackDown to feud with Julia. So I think that's the way it's gonna go. So I think Stephanie Vaquer will retain NXT Championship. And listen here, the main event, Obafemi versus Miles Bourne. This is a tremendous story for Miles. Hard of hearing, has a speech impediment, a disability, and he is able to become a professional wrestler, and he is now in the sights of Obafemi. I think Obafemi wins this, but I think this is such a good story. I think Sean and the guys down there, they are good at telling the story. We want you to change the narrative. We think we won't think Obafemi should win. We want Obafemi should win, but during the match, we'll be rooting for Miles Bourne to win because they will have told a great story and given them all the hope spots and everything like that. I think this is going to be a very good match. I think Miles Bourne will he'll hang with Obafemi, and I think this will be a pretty good match. But I think Obafemi is going to win this. This past Tuesday we saw the winner of LFG, male winner Jasper Troy, get in the ring with and take out Obafemi. So I think that's what they're gonna do next with Obafemi's go straight into a Jasper Troy fruit, which is amazing. You think you'd want to slide Jasper into, but they're throwing him right into the fire. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Obafemi I think will win this, but it'll be a good showing for Miles Bourne, I think. So to recap, the Culling will take out Hankin Tankin and Josh Briggs. Sax Lorenzo will beat Tony D'Angelo. So Ruka will retain her Women's North American Championship. Joe Hendry will retain the TNA Heavyweight Championship. Stephanie Vaquer will retain the NXT Women's Championship. And Obafemi will retain the Men's World Champion. It should be a good night this should be a good 3 days, actually. I mean, think about it. Tonight we've got SmackDown, and then tomorrow night we've got Saturday night's main event. I do not do predictions for Saturday night's main event because it's not technically a premium live event. So I don't do anything. But real quick, to go over some of the matches that have been announced, John Cena vs. R-Truth should be very interesting and a very fun match. Jey Uso defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Logan Paul. That's going to be a good match. The steel cage match between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, I think, will be very good. And then I think the tag match between Sami and Punk against Breaker and Rollins will be a very interesting tag match as well. So I think that's all of the tag matches they have. So just 4. It should be good. We'll probably get some other shenanigans going on throughout there. So it should be a really interesting time. So tomorrow night, and then of course NXT this Sunday. So real quick before we end the show, our thoughts go out to Zoe Stark, who Monday had under a god awful injury, and it was just ridiculous. So we have it. Well, there was something going on the internet, passed around, where Kyrie Sane had said something about Zoe Stark, and Dave Meltzer quoted the tweet saying it was a work. And I saw this on TikTok, and I could not believe it. And I said, really, this motherfucker really said this injury is a work. However, I've only seen bits and pieces of it. There hasn't been really any outrage. Dave Meltzer was not trending on Twitter at any time in the past 4 days. So I kind of think maybe that's something that is. I looked back through his tweets to try to find it. Now maybe it was a real tweet and he deleted it, but I wonder if this was one of those AI tweets that didn't mean anything. So I'm not going to eviscerate Dave Meltzer because I was about to. I was about to eviscerate him on Twitter, and then come on this show and then eviscerate him, again, but. It may have been a hoax. It may not have been a real quote tweet from Dave Meltzer. So we're waiting to see. But believe me, I have plenty of time to eviscerate Dave Meltzer if it is a real tweet or it isn't. So I have plenty of time. But again, we want to send our thoughts out to Zoe Stark. The injury looked nasty. It looked bad, and yeah, let's hope everything goes well and hope for a speedy recovery. Speedy and well, how do you pronounce this? Or just a good recovery so that she can, get back into the ring, hopefully. So, alright guys, put your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know down in the comment section what you feel about my predictions. Give me your predictions as well. Don't forget, after Nxt Battleground on Sunday, right back here to AJTRIP. The rap reaction, we're going right after, going live right after the show. We can sit and talk about Battleground. It's gonna be a fun show. We should have some good fun about it. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there, and I am out.